my first year as an actual exhibitor. So, and then to do something of this magnitude, I'm pretty proud of it, and proud of SEMA for giving us this opportunity to do this.
Okay, awesome. So, African American Racers Association, when was that formed? What was the impetus behind it? What's the goal? What's the plans for the future?
So I watched the documentary Adam Carolla did on Willie T. Ribbs called Uppity.
Okay.
And at the end of that documentary, there was a very small blurb about the Black American Racers Association, and it just caught my eye. So I wound up doing some more research, and I learned about this organization started by Leonard Miller in the 70s, early 70s. It only lasted about 5 years. But what that organization did was it united black businesses, black racers, and brought everybody together to help push themselves further in motorsports. Well, after that organization disbanded in like 1975, there hasn't been an organization since. I've been in the motorsports industry for about 7 years, an executive on that level. And I was in a lot of meetings where people didn't look like me, didn't have the same thoughts or wants or needs as I did. And then I would help just through my network, individuals like Donkmaster, get into facilities and do things that they couldn't normally do. So I didn't want to just keep within my circle. I wanted it to spread out. So created the African American Racers Association. So the first thing that we did, utilize our platform to educate people on the heroes of racing's past. So if you go on our website, we have a Hall of Fame, and in that Hall of Fame we talk about people like Willie T. Ribbs, Cheryl Lynn Glass, Roger Jack, and really educate people and bring in the knowledge of who they are and what they've done. Then we also have an education component to where we're getting into these inner cities and these underserviced areas that don't necessarily have motorsports to teach the kids, because my dad, you know, I'm a New York kid, so motorsports wasn't a thing then. It was football, basketball, baseball, stick and ball sports. But my dad always had cars. He got me into NASCAR watching Dale Sr., but I didn't even know at the same time you had somebody like Bill Lester that was racing, and we had this. He looked like me, right?
Representation.
So, exactly. So now we utilize STEM and STEAM to teach kids in these schools about motorsports and cars. But in addition to that, if you're not wrenching and you're not racing, these race teams need graphic designers and need somebody who does contract negotiation, website design, all these other things that will help grow the sport as far as African Americans and minorities being a part of it, which is going to grow the spectator base and just help this industry continue to grow.
Got it. That is a very nice history, and I appreciate that. So there's definitely a lot to learn for sure, a lot of information to gather and, you know, showcase. So SEMA is definitely one of your big events coming out, I would assume. What do you have planned in the future?
So one thing, big shout out to SEMA for, you know, working with me for about 3 years. This exhibit is about 3 years in the making. A lot of conversations with SEMA about diversity and how do we change it together. Right. So this is a collaboration exhibit with SEMA. And then what I want to do in the future-wise is just continue to just educate individuals about who we are, what we're doing, and the historians in motorsports. There's about 150 education seminars that is happening here at SEMA today. I mean, this week, and we're involved in 5 of them. And one of the panels, Celebrity Insights, where a lot of these individuals' cars that you see here, the drivers, are going to talk about their experiences in motorsports. We have Destiny Spurlock, which is going to be on a Women in Racing panel. Ricky Gadsden, the Legends in Racing panel. So we utilize this platform to get these stories out to a broader mass, right? Once people have the education on this, I truly feel that as people, we cannot move on. I get tired of talking about race just like everybody else does, but we can't move past that until everybody has had the opportunity to tell their story. So this is a part of being able to tell the story of African Americans in motorsports.
Got it. And you have a lot of exhibit vehicles here today. Who are some of these legends in racing?
Awesome.
We can go down the line.
So we have here, this is Force Indy. So this is a IndyCar racing team. They are very diverse. They're about bringing diversity to the sport. So their makeup is black, white, Spanish, women, men, and they work on this vehicle. So the historic standpoint from this is that, one, the number on the car is 99. It's based on Roger Jack. And Roger Jack is considered one of the first African-American race car drivers. We're talking about 1890s right now, all right? So during that time, African-Americans were not allowed to race in the Indy 500, all right? Just because obvious racial tensions.
Right.
So now you fast forward, 1986, Willie T. Ribbs was the first African-American ever to test an Indy car. And in 91, I think he was the first to actually race in the Indy 500.
Okay.
Fast forward to 2021, young brother named Miles Rowe, I think he was 20 at the time, in this exact car, won the USF 2000 he won the race, became the first African-American to win an IndyCar sanctioned race. And this is the vehicle, how it looked when it came out of the race. The only difference is the tires. So this huge historical significance to what this car is.
Nice.
Destiny Spurlock, first woman to win a 460 race. That's her bike, built by Hollywood Drag Racing, part of the Man Cup series. African-American female race car driver.
Nice.
This car over here, legendary Mutt Brothers, piloted by Ronald Lyles, Eugene Cord, may he rest in peace. This is a tribute car to the Sox and Martin Pro Stock car. And this car is a legend. There's something called the quarter mile, the quarter mile race. And this is the legend. This is the car, the tribute car that was a part of that.
Awesome.
Donkmaster. Yeah. See, a lot of people know Donkmaster. Self-titled show on Motor Trend in the Vice Network. He is a big wheel racer. He's really changed the game when it comes to big wheel racing. And this is his famous vehicle, the Z06, and he also created the National Donk Racing Association, which is the first sanctioning body for the sport of big wheel racing. So, I mean, this thing is awesome. Full fiberglass front end, pretty cool car. Lee Yearwood, drifter. He just participated in the U.S. Drift Circuit, Florida Pro-Am. They do a Pro-Am in Florida in collaboration with Formula Drift. He came in third place, so he has his Pro-Am license now to go race in FD next year. So,
nice.
Yeah, so that's here. And he's one of the YouTubers, influencers. So you have the old school guys that didn't have the media to promote themselves. Then you fast forward to guys like Donkmaster and Lee that control their own destiny with YouTube, with Instagram,
the TikToks and what have you.
Exactly. So then we have Levi Holmes. He's considered the original street outlaw. This is times when African Americans weren't necessarily able to race at drag strips, so they would race out on the street, and then when the opportunity came, they would come to tracks as well. So this is a pro stock car. This is the actual car. It's not a tribute car. And he will actually be here tomorrow to speak about, the legend. He would race up and down the tracks in the streets in the northeast United States. They call him Mr. Newark. So he's based out of Newark, New Jersey.
Got it.
And that gentleman that just said, "Hey, Chris," is Tommy Bolton. That's the gentleman I was telling you that was the first African American to go 200 miles per hour on a motorcycle. He was also the first African American to go 7 seconds in a motorcycle. Legend from South Central LA. He has his own race team, and that's one of the bikes. And then he's transitioned now to become a bike builder. And he's built this bike by hand, frame, everything. This is a Tombo built bike.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I know you've got a lot to go through and do today. So
thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it.
But thanks so much. It's been an education, as they say.